Hello and welcome to IDFC First Bank presents Leaders of Tomorrow Season 11. I'm Sunanda Jesudan. All through this season, we're going to be traveling to 20 campuses across the country, talking to India's young minds about what matters the most to them. Today, we're joining you live from the Hindustan Institute of Technology and Science in Chennai, talking about, amongst other future technologies, ChatGPT and the opportunities and challenges presented by such technologies. We're in conversation with educationists, with lawyers, with entrepreneurs to talk and understand the opportunities and challenges of future technologies and how it can be harnessed and harnessed effectively, as well as hearing directly from the students themselves.
Hello, members of the panel. I'm Samyukta from BTech CSE first year AI and Data Science specialization. So my question is to you. You said that before people used to go to the libraries and do a large amount of research, and now it's at fingertips. Now, I know that's fast, but in this era of fake information where AI learns from what inputs you're giving, we might learn a lot of wrong information. So is education truly moving forward in that aspect?
Great question.
Can I respond? Yeah. The point is that one needs to authenticate. You know, if I'm going to take an information from any source, I need to be really clear, of the basics, fundamentals of that area in which that I am working. Whether it's going to be agriculture or engineering, we need to have. That is why the fundamentals are very important. Because if there is going to be, a wrong information given, you'll be, once you're strong in your foundation, then you know that this is fake, this is not proper. And if you're going to be using that in your experiment, then you are going to be really faltering. So a strong foundation, whether it's going to be based on AI or RI, I think a strong foundation of the subject is very important for you to be really strong and firm in what you're doing and also help guide others to move in the right direction.
Okay. I would love for you to come in on the fake information because there's so much that goes around and the legal aspect of that.
See, actually, if you ask me whether we harp on fake information, yes. Now, the present situation, especially in the last 10 years, before also there were fake news and it was busted. But now we are in an era, we are in an environment that fake news makes lot of impact in the minds of the readers, young students, and we get carried away by the social media influence because, we keep on sharing. There is no bar in that, and that fake news becomes real news, and it leads to so many negativity in the society. Now ChatGPT, which is banned in almost many countries. I was told by a pro-chancellor, he has received a notification from Government of India that ChatGPT should be banned. So there is a boon, and definitely there is a bane. So we have to be careful, and we cannot expect everybody to be thinking in the same aspect what we think. That is a problem. Because we get influenced by fake news only. The fake news factory in social media has no limit.
The government is trying to some extent impose rules on the companies and the social media platforms.
Every government, when in helm of affairs, if anybody makes any dissent comment or criticizes the government, they go out of the way to take action against their opponents. So it is being misused. We as a common man, we come to understand that fake news, real news, AI, as our educationist was saying, RI is the best. Yes, RI, but we are in a technology-driven society. So we go by what is there. ChatGPT and the technology. Without technology, you and I cannot survive. Even the legal framework is not competent or so fast. Because within few seconds, ChatGPT gives you everything in your mobile or your tab, whichever you are. So this is how the technology grows very fast, even faster than a lightning. So it is a difficult task. That's why they ban it. See, yes, ChatGPT, AI is required for where humans cannot access. when skilled laborers cannot do it. For example, for an atomic nuclear plant, I mean, due to radiations. So you can use AI. Likewise, on the LOC, for surveillance, security surveillance, you can use AI. But not everywhere. See, for example, Chennai city is fully manned with cameras. I was told some 3,000 cameras are being installed. But finally, it comes to the control room where a human sits and decides what is right and what is wrong. So definitely RI is above AI. So there is no second opinion.
Sure.
So the legal intricacies, we have to wait for the amendments, new laws getting amended, and all this technology, Information Technology Act, 2008, 2000, 2018, 2021, it's day by day we are improving and we are trying to catch up with the technology growth. All this we have to wait and watch. But there is no existing law to control or curtail this growth of AI all over globally. So that's how we are in a catch-22 situation.
I'm Janice Sawalia from EC 4th year. I'd like to ask all of you that we have heard that AI learns from its mistake. Okay, as human does, that AI can learn from multiple variations of their inputs or whatever it is called. What is stopping AI to be creative and replace human?
Can I answer?
We're not in a sci-fi movie.
No. See, AI can learn from its mistakes, but it is also depending on the data that is inputted in it. So if the data is wrong, then the AI, what it generates, and no matter how much of course correction it does, it will be wrong. So ultimately, the human intelligence and the data that we are going to input into that system and into the algorithm is what drives it. So the biases and everything, so that's where the human intelligence comes into play to make sure that the biases and the data that is input into the algorithms are not wrong.
One short answer. Trust your brain.
No, but I would like to also state that AI, whenever is used, it is used with Internet of Things, where the whole internet is provided to AI, and an AI can gather any information from internet, whether it is inputted or not.
Yeah, Internet of Things is also inputted by the humans, right? And
Yeah,
what
but
we input there, because again, this is where our ethics come into place and the social implications and what we put into the Internet of Things, the data that collectively goes into the Internet of Things also matters. So it is not just AI, it is all over. It's overall, we have to be very, ethical, and we have to be aware of what we are doing. That is a big responsibility.
Sure.
And if you see that, it is only the probability of getting some solution, whether it is human being or AI, it is only a probability of getting the best solution. But with single-handedly, if you have to take decisions based on the inputs that are given, probability of your answer or solution will be low. And since it's a bigger collective pool of data, the probability of result is higher. But when it combines with electromechanical devices, the device failure may have implication. But in your case, it's only your failure is an implication.
So the most important
I want to
point is, no, as long as the flight moves in the auto mode of flight, when there is no problem, it is exactly like that. Your AI can function, but then when there is an emergency, when there is a problem, when there is a danger, when there is an alarm, I think it is a real intelligence which would be able to give the right solution.
We'll slip into a short commercial break on that note. Back in just a moment. Do stay tuned. Welcome back. You're with us here on IDFC First Bank presents Leaders of Tomorrow Hangout. Today, we're joining you from the Hindustan Institute of Technology and Science in Chennai to talk about the role of future technologies, including ChatGPT, when it comes to the field of education and entrepreneurship in the country today. I want to take closing comments by starting with you, Dr. Raghavan. And one thing that we haven't discussed is the role that being in a classroom with your fellow students, the learning that is imparted from that, learning from your peers, empathy, those things are something we haven't discussed, and they often get lost when it comes to digital and technology being used in classrooms. Could you talk about how these two can perhaps be bridged?
See, last 2 years were the best example. Okay, 2 years before, pre-pandemic level, accidentally or not, I do not know, 1.5 years ahead of pandemic, we introduced this online mode of teaching in our school. Okay, but luckily it helped us to solve the problem at that point of time much faster as compared to the rest of the schools. But in the first 1.5 years, we were very proud feeling about having this kind of facility. But initially, when the COVID started, we were even more proud that we were into that in advance. But after 1 year, we came to know that we were nowhere because there was no impact. That's what exactly happened. Why there was no impact? Communication happened, they listened, lecture was happening in isolation, everything was happening, but impact was pretty low. The only thing is emotional connect. Okay? Even in my talk here, if I look at him, he is connected better with me than somebody else. Correct? You gain focus, you gain attention. Am I right? Hey, this guy is looking at me. So let me respond to him. Or let me try to understand. Even if you are sleeping, you will try to understand. But this is not happening in the other side. Emotional connect is lost. The moment I see him smiling, my mind changes. I change the topic. Come on, let's share the joke in a classroom. Correct or not? It can be stupid, it can be serious, it can be anything. The conversation style is changing. Correct? We meet the reality of life in a classroom, which never happens in an online session. Why we have taken such a long time to sit here and meet you? That is a proof. Emotional connects, which is very important in life. In virtual world, you will get everything, but this will never be replaced in the virtual world.
I don't think anyone in this session is sleeping. Is anyone sleeping? Put up your hands.
During this pandemic, we had online courts. So judges used to hear. My personal experience, don't laugh, seriously. I had done some 10 cases. I lost 9 cases because of online. My clients literally cried. But the same case, likewise, I mean the ditto cases, when the court started, I won all the 10 cases. That is the connect which he is telling. Because the judge sits there and I put my coat and all this robes and all and said, Judge, yes, Rajashekharan, Lordship, this is the case. Okay. He is in jail? Yes. Okay, next week. Because 300 cases. But if you go to the physical court, I would say he is suffering. The accused is inside the prison. His children, his wife is not there. All this. Yeah. But they are not ready to hear because they have 300, 400 cases queued up. I mean, these are all the negatives of online, which he rightly mentioned. The personal connect, the personal appearance makes a lot of impact. So we have to, I finally agree that what he said in the beginning is right. RI is the best option.
Prasanna, I want to come to you very quickly and ask you to talk about the fact that at FICCI FLO, you undertake also digital training and literacy for your members and your member companies. Just very briefly talk to us about that.
Yeah, because we can talk about AI, the negative implications, the positive implications, but the reality is it is here to stay. Just like Industrial Revolution was, as calculator was, it is disrupting, it is here to stay, and how can we adapt to it? So we have over 460 members, women entrepreneurs, CEOs, homepreneurs, and what we realized is the importance of digital literacy for all of us, and we do bring in programs and experts from fields to update and upskill ourselves. So end of the day, I would say, whatever that might be, we have to be realistic and understand what is here to stay and use it ethically, have that moral compass guiding us as to how to use it, and train ourselves, upskill ourselves so that we don't become obsolete. And that's what I have to say.
Sir, I want to come to you, Dr. Alexander, and ask you to talk about how today's courses are responding to the opportunities and challenges of technology, of AI. How are your courses evolving? How are your professors and teachers evolving? Very briefly, can you leave us with that?
Yeah, that's a very nice, probably one of the last questions. I think post-pandemic, I think our approach to education has completely changed. I think pre-pandemic, we were in a particular type of activity, mostly in the classrooms, the board and chalk method and with limited technology. But with the revolution that has taken place in computer-aided education, I think the whole thing has changed. Now, I think we are very much in the practice of blended learning and hybrid learning, hybrid teaching, and also incorporating the latest technology of digital education as a part of it. We have even said that if there are 5 modules in a course, I think one has to be, in an online mode. And particularly involving experts outside the country, because we wanted it to be really connected, to be contemporary. So one module can be taught by someone from outside the country through online mode so that it benefits a large number of people. We are also going to be involved in what we call the professor of practice, where we are going to be identifying some of the professors, some of the experts in the industry to be considered as a professor of practice so that they'll be able to teach you the technology part, because that's what is very much lacking. Here, the students are very much thorough or good with theory, but then the practice is something that is very much lacking. And therefore, by hiring such people, you will be able to make the subject more relevant and also skill-oriented, so that the moment the person completes education, the person is ready to take up a job. And therefore, we are trying to, we have revised our curriculum and syllabi. In fact, in our university, we keep revising it time and again, once in 2 years. And in fact, with the NEP 2020, we have incorporated many of the aspects, into our curriculum. In fact, even before the implementation of NEP, we have already considered many aspects of internationalization and things like that. And now it has really strengthened our syllabus, our curriculum, so that in the days to come, our content, our curriculum would be very contemporary, job-oriented, skill-oriented, and it will be able to give our students an edge over other students, because they'll be able to pursue education in any university around the world. They'll be able to be an entrepreneur, they'll be able to have a startup on their own, and things like that. And that is what I think we are doing at our university to make education relevant to today's situation. That's the punch point. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your time, and thank you to all of our panelists today. Future technologies are here to stay, and it's about harnessing it and harnessing it effectively, whether it's in the field of education or for entrepreneurs such as yourselves. We're traveling to 20 such campuses across the country discussing the most topical themes. For today, it's a wrap though. Thank you so much for watching.